Hey guys, how's it going, and welcome back for another Total War video with the Terminator. Over the years, there have been many discussions, debates, and speculations surrounding the topic of a World War I or a World War II Total War. And it's a tough one for me because modern warfare is very different to how it was done before, and in my honest opinion, I really don't think Creative Assembly would do a good job of it, let alone a Medieval 3 or Empire 2. That being said, among the thousands of mods developed for Total War games, there is one mod that has done an immense job of recreating the First World War in a way that is ridiculously impressive and super fun to play. I am, of course, talking about the Great War mod for Napoleon Total War. A grand jewel in the crown of greatest of all time Total War mods, the Great War is so impressive, in fact, that it almost turns Napoleon into a completely new Total War game. With immersive historical accuracy, astonishingly good campaign gameplay, and some of the most jaw-dropping battles I've ever played. So in this video, I will attempt to spotlight for you everything that makes the Great War mod great by exploring all the factions, mechanics, and gameplay with a detailed overview of Update 6.0 released in December, and by the end, hopefully convincing you why you absolutely need to give this incredible mod a try, because honestly, it will blow your mind. So let's get started. The Great War mod is 100% one of the best Total War mods I've ever played. We've got reconnaissance planes that fly across the campaign map, tanks that look and play so well and are terrifying, historically accurate characters and portraits, we've got dreadnoughts on the campaign map, scripted events for revolutions and plague, we've got custom battle maps, and more. Everything here screams immersion, historical accuracy, and more importantly, gameplay that is immensely replayable. It comes with 18 playable factions, including the Allies with Britain, France, and Russia, the Central Powers with the German Empire, Austria-Hungary, and the Ottoman Empire, as well as 12 minor factions with Italy, Spain, Greece, Sweden, Norway, Serbia, Portugal, Belgium, Romania, Switzerland, Netherlands, and Denmark. So there really is a lot of replayability here, lots of opportunities to replay history, upset it, or alter it completely, which is just amazing. When you choose your faction and jump into the campaign, you start off in late June 1914, and immediately you get the event message letting you know that Archduke Franz Ferdinand has been assassinated, setting off the chain of events leading to the start of the First World War. In the diplomacy tab, you'll see that the major factions have all taken their sides and the minor factions have all stayed neutral, but over time they will likely start entering the war on one side or the other. So it's important to note that diplomacy can be quite dynamic in the Great War, which is a fantastic thing. Campaign AI is super important to me, and in this mod, it does not disappoint. You'll also notice that the technology tab is a lot bigger. An insane amount of work has gone into modernizing the tech trees to be more historically accurate and varied between factions, so it is balanced. But the way tech is set up here is really aimed at giving you the option to build a national identity. Under the civil tree, for example, you have both options for nationalism and Marxist communism. Some factions get over 79 different technologies, from new destroyer tech to mass communication to issuing war bonds. The opportunity here to develop your faction the way you want to, prioritizing military over civic or economic, but also within those trees really personalizing your playstyle is absolutely possible, which is just brilliant. Every faction starts with some very unique starting circumstances and a military force of varying size. So if you're the Ottomans, for example, you have a small force, recently trained up with German help, as well as a single destroyer just next to Constantinople. As the Germans, on the other hand, you start with 6 large armies ready to invade Western Europe, while you have a smallish force defending your eastern borders against Russia. The point is, you don't have to spend dozens of turns building up armies, and this gives the mod some nice immersion and, more importantly, some brilliant battles right from the get-go. From a campaign perspective though, this is just the tip of the iceberg. We've got scripted events and messages that let us know a bit more about the narrative and the events that happen around the First World War, the sinking of the HMS Lusitania, the invasion of Togoland, or that really make a big impact on gameplay, like the influenza. We've got unique units and agents like cargo ships that can use trade nodes scattered across the map, map, or reconnaissance planes that can fly around revealing a large area. We've got new trade commodities like coal, copper, or oil, and obviously we've got a wide range of new buildings and units across every faction. The campaign depth and engagement is unlike any campaign I've seen before. It is off the charts. In fact, in this respect, the Great War campaign really does come together to become far more than the sum of its parts. It is a brand new Total War experience. For me though, one of the most impressive aspects is the historical accuracy. From the characters in your cabinet down to the name of the pilot flying your reconnaissance plane, to the individual unit types and their origins like the Canadian or the Australian infantry in the British Army, or the different types of battleships or tanks, the attention to detail here to really portray the First World War as accurately as possible is just incredible. In a way, this is why an official Total War made by Creative Assembly wouldn't really do it justice. It would just feel too generic across the board, not really immersive enough. But the Great War is all of that and more. It really does make you feel like you are playing this time period and this war. And then we have the battles, and my god are they amazing. Battle AI is really challenging and tactical, unit visuals are absolutely breathtaking, and overall the gameplay is just so much fun. You've got flamethrowers that do serious damage, tanks that pack a punch, and infantry that just looks incredible. The attention to detail from tank textures to unit faces, uniforms, and weapons is really impressive and really makes your battles come to life. And of course, artillery barrages on charging infantry has never been so terrifying, and honestly, you could even just do tank battles, which is just so much fun. Despite the lack of proper ship models from the time period, which you'll have to forgive as unfortunately ship models are hard-coded into the game, naval battles are still a joy to play and do give you a sense of long-range warfare, and the team have done a really decent job of making the ships look more modern. It may not be your cup of tea, guys, but I think they've done a really good job here. Finally, we need to talk about the latest update, version 6.0, which arguably is one of the biggest updates released for the mod. It adds new loading screens, new campaign map models, new historical events, new historical battle locations like Gallipoli or the Ardennes, new emergent factions like Finland or Yugoslavia, loads of new units or unique characters like Rasputin or Karl von Habsburg. The tech tree has been overhauled, the battle AI has been improved, building models have been updated, and so much more. Lots of bugs and crash issues have been fixed as well. Units that were previously invisible should now be visible. MG bunkers have been removed, which alone should resolve a lot of issues players were having, and things like building effects that weren't working, old vanilla portraits or event images, and many other things have been fixed to make the mod a much more polished and playable experience. This update has been in the making for over 2 years, guys. So much work and modding effort has gone into making the Great War the best it can be, and I can honestly say it's been worth the wait. A lot of players' complaints have been resolved, and a lot more content and immersion has been added in to make this mod one of the best, if not the best, ever made. If you're looking to get into a new Total War and you have Napoleon, or even if you don't have Napoleon, you can just pick it up for really cheap. I highly recommend the Great War mod, guys. You will absolutely not regret it. And that's it for today, guys. The Great War mod is a Total War experience unlike any other, and it's got almost everything you could wish for from an official World War I Total War. Historical accuracy, engaging narrative, detailed campaign gameplay, and spectacular immersive battles. It's a mod that honestly impresses me every time I play it, which is why I wanted to make this video. I wanted to share this with you guys because I think you will find it impressive too. Installing the Great War mod is super easy, guys. All you need to do is go into the ModDB page, which I've linked below, download version 6.0, unzip the contents with a program like WinRAR, and replace the data folder with the one in your Napoleon folder. There's a launcher in the Great War folder in data that you just click, and you're good to go. I hope you enjoyed this video, guys, and if you did, give it a like and drop any thoughts or questions in the comment section below. Subscribe for more Total War content, gameplay, and news, and thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next time.